Welcome back to Talking Crafting Dead. Guys, we are back with a new season of Talking CD because of the launch of my new Crafting Dead Origins series. Now, a lot of you guys may have missed that video. If you have, don't watch this video yet. There's going to be a link down in the description to the first episode of CD Origins. I highly recommend that you watch that episode first because there will be spoilers. You've been warned. What's going on, you guys? My name's Nick, or SGC Barbarian, and I am the host of Talking Crafting Dead, the show where we go over everything and anything about Crafting Dead. Now, very recently, in fact, just yesterday, the very first episode of Crafting Dead Origins went out. Now, this is a series that I've been extremely excited to bring you guys for a very long time, and I want to take a minute to explain exactly what it's going to be. Crafting Dead Origins started as an idea that I had when I wanted to get characters who haven't been in the story of Crafting Dead back in front of you guys, the viewers. Now, Max's character, if you guys recall, hasn't been seen since around Season 9, Season 10, and it's really hard just to write somebody back into the story. It's difficult. It's something that I struggled with. I wanted to bring him back because I knew how much you guys loved his character, but I didn't want to force the Crafting Dead story to go there quicker than I had anticipated. That's where Origins comes in. With Crafting Dead Origins, I can show each and every character's backstory, stories that we haven't seen in the Crafting Dead itself. It's something that I think is really exciting. It lets me go into the backstories of characters who otherwise we really wouldn't know much about before the apocalypse. And it also lets me slow things down and show you a different side of characters. As you guys can probably tell, Max is completely normal in this episode. He hasn't become the crazy and somewhat insane Max that we know in Crafting Dead. Each season of Crafting Dead Origins will be 5 episodes long. The reason that I didn't want to do 10 episodes like my normal Crafting Dead series is a couple of different reasons. One, I want to make sure that I can rotate through a variety of characters who aren't in the Crafting Dead story as it is. Now, that doesn't mean that we won't see certain characters have multiple origin seasons, but I do want the opportunity to show you guys as many backstories as possible. With the variety of characters that we have in Crafting Dead, everybody experienced the beginning of the apocalypse differently, especially characters who we met along the way. They have an entire story to tell, and I think Crafting Dead Origins is a great way for me to do that. My goal for this series is to upload it twice a week, and the dates for the next episode will always be announced at the end of the previous episode. Now, like all of my videos, I can only control so much. It's still up to the YouTuber if they want to be a part of Crafting Dead Origins, but I'm really excited to bring this series to you guys, and I would be open to having any YouTuber back for an origin story. For me, this series is a huge opportunity to show you guys the backstories of characters that we've met along the way, and I'm super excited to bring you the first season. I also want to give a huge thanks to Max for being so available and so willing to be in this series. I knew that his character was one of the best characters in the Crafting Dead, and I really wanted to make sure that he got a backstory worthy of his character. Make sure you guys check out his channel. The link will be down in the description. Tell him you love the series, tell him what you thought, and tell him that you appreciate it just like I do. Now on to the best part of Talking Crafting Dead, the part where I answer your questions off of Twitter. Salone asks, will there be more blooper episodes? Salone, there will be many more blooper episodes. It takes a long time to get funny bloopers for you guys, but they're some of my favorite things to edit. I think my favorite blooper would have to be the one where AK just punches through walls. I mean, everybody records these in creative mode, and sometimes things get a little bit messy when they don't go according to plan. Chicken Ducks ask, what can we expect for the next season in terms of length of season/episodes? That's a great question, Chicken. Now, here's the thing about Crafting Dead. Crafting Dead will always have a 10 episode season. I do that for a couple of reasons. The main reason being, it's a nice round number, and I think it allows me to do some really cool things. It allows me to do a couple of different story arcs and still have time to work in story about the next season by the time the season finale rolls around. Now, as far as episode length goes, I always try and make sure that they are above 12 to 15 minutes. That's about where I tend to average. Any less, and I feel like the episode is lacking. It doesn't have enough action, not enough plot gets not enough is going on. Any longer than that is very rare. Again, these episodes take a lot of work to make, and doing an episode that's longer than 20 minutes just isn't possible right now. Mariah asks, how many seasons of the Crafting Dead roleplay did you plan to have in the start? To be honest, Mariah, I didn't really plan to have any seasons in the start. When I first filmed season 1, and if you go back and watch this season, you'll notice that there really isn't much of a storyline. It's something that I was doing just with my friend Ghetto and AK, and eventually we added Shark. It wasn't something that I tried to make into this long-running series. I really didn't even know if my fans would enjoy it, but obviously we've gotten to this point. You guys obviously love the Crafting Dead, and I can say this, at this point, I think that the Crafting Dead could easily go a couple of more seasons. Anything beyond that, I don't tend to think about that far because I like to be able to change the story on the fly based on ideas that I get or ideas that you guys give me in the comments. Summer asks, will any characters be returning? Now, Summer, you know I don't give spoilers on this show, but I will say this. I think that you guys will be pleasantly surprised with the end of season 13. There are going to be some familiar faces that we haven't seen in quite some time. So hopefully that's not spoiling anything, but I hope that you guys stick around because trust me, you're not gonna want to miss the end of season 13. That's all the questions I have for this week. If you guys want to be in next week's video, leave me a comment with your question about just about anything. Crafting Dead Origins, the Crafting Dead series, whatever you guys want to ask, and I'll do my best to answer as many of them in the comments, and I'll pick a few of my favorites for next week's video. As far as predictions go for this season, I don't know where the Crafting Dead Origins is going to go. Now, obviously, there's a big discrepancy between Max's character in Origins and Max's character in the Crafting Dead. Obviously, something has to happen, and I think that's about all that I want to predict. We just don't know what is going to happen, but obviously, there's some big event looming. I think it's going to make for a great season, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. That's going to do it for me. Guys, thank you so much for all of your support yesterday on Crafting Dead Origins and all of your support in general. These series take a lot of work to make, and I've told you guys this before. Your support means the world to me. It's really one of the only reasons that I keep making these series, and to see your comments, to see how excited you get on Twitter and in the comments and even just the ratings on the videos, I can just tell how excited you guys are for every new episode, and I hope that someday I'll be able to give you guys more and more series that just keep getting you excited. So, with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching, and as always, my name's Barbarian. Peace out.